Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again in this YouTube astrological segment. I'm going to be talking about transit Jupiter conjunct one's natal south node. Now, when we're talking about transits that involve Jupiter, it can be about enlargement, expansion, expanding horizons, going outside the box, enthusiasm, exuberance, even optimism and hope. Now, when you have this transit of Jupiter conjoining one's natal south node, well, it could be about enlargement, expansion, expanding one's horizons, enthusiasm, exuberance, and again, even optimism and hope regarding maybe what you're going away from, your past. It could be, it could be a situation, that might have been very negative, that was to your detriment. Fourth house, it might have been something with your home life. Say if it's in Capricorn in the fourth house in your natal chart, it could be getting away from, maybe rather cold, even tyrannical, ruthless people in your home life, or people that you may have been close to home with, so to speak. It could be a situation where, it's about the south node is about the past as well. So sometimes this could be about enlargement of things from the past, whether it could be memories, it could be something, it could be people from your past contacting you if you're a believer in past lives. It could be maybe connecting, with some Jupiterian type of person, from a past life, maybe somebody that was some kind of, let's say, mentor, but maybe like a college professor, or somebody that was, your religious congregation, or it could be a preacher, somebody that was involved in sports or publishing from a past life contacting you at this time. It could be, it could also be as well, South Node is connected with the overdeveloped attributes and qualities, and it could be redundant energy. Now, when you have this transit happening, could also manifest in the enlargement of those things. And maybe the enthusiasm in these overdeveloped qualities. If it's in Virgo, it might be some kind of hypochondriac tendencies, or something that's associated with being excessively clean, um, almost redundant energy connected with cleanliness and organization. It could also be positive note that the South Node could also reflect what we're naturally proficient in. So some cases it could be fortuitous for doing things that we're naturally good in. If it's in, say, if it's in Gemini, it could be something, with writing, communication, any kind of communications field, like data or satellite communications, doing things that involve dexterity, working with your hands, like something with carpentry, or even auto or refrigeration mechanics. And the thing about this is, could also be where this is a this is something too. When you have this transit, another way this could manifest and pan out, it could be maybe some, again, a Jupiterian person contacting, like an in-law. Could be about an in-law passing in some cases, because South Node is energy that's being left behind. It could also be, another way this can manifest and pan out. It could be about being very exuberant and enthusiastic. It could be about leaving a philosophy or some kind of religion behind. Say, for example, if this falls in Capricorn in your natal chart, it might be one that might be rather like a religion or philosophy that you felt was really very orthodox or conventional. Um, it could have been a very negative or pessimistic like belief system, and maybe it's time where you're just trying to find something that might be a little bit more positive as far as an outlook, or as far as a philosophical belief, and not thinking, so not being maybe quite as negative or pessimistic as you were may have been previously. Now, another Another way this could manifest, this could also, again, it could, as I've talked about in previous videos, that Jupiter is very benign and benevolent, but it's very paradoxical as well. It could also have a tendency to enlarge and expand. Some cases this might expand or enlarge the negative, overdeveloped qualities of the placement, because it can be redundant energy. Now, say, yeah, being in Virgo, for example, going back to the possible hypochondriac tendencies or compulsive complaining and criticizing, noticing, trying to notice virtually everything you can, it's a hair out of place, or what have you, or the envelope, the envelope flaps on an envelope not being 100% symmetrical. It's really, it's very, it could be something that can enlarge those qualities and often negative qualities, but um, and say if it falls in Virgo in the fifth house, it could be the compulsive complaining about a lover or a child. Um, but the thing about this too, sometimes this could be about prosperity, because Jupiter is about prosperity. It could be prosperity maybe leaving you for some reason. Maybe some isolated cases, it could be a job termination, or maybe you had to relinquish some money for some reason. Maybe there was and for example, like an inheritance that could have been contested, or maybe you lost some money for some reason. It could be something as well, but on the like that. But on the positive end, could also, this transit may translate into prosperity that may be gained due to things that you're naturally good or proficient in. A lot of this could be dependent and predicated on aspects that this makes to points in your chart. This makes, say, a sextile or trine to your own natal Jupiter. It could be actually very fortuitous and as far as prosperity may go, but let's say it makes an adverse aspect to your natal Saturn. Well, it could be where you might wind up having some kind of loss, as far as monetarily uh, losing some of your prosperity. It could be, and say if this falls in Aquarius as an example, it could be, if you're becoming prosperous for something Aquarius related. It may be, that you're naturally good in. It could be something with innovation or astrology or computers, information technology. Say if it falls in your sixth house, it could be through some kind of computer, related service you're giving to somebody. If you're in, working for somebody, it might be some kind of bonus you might receive in connection with something Aquarius related that you're doing. Now, another way, another as far as how this might pan out for you, is that, remember that Jupiter is about the truth and veracity. Now, this could be about the truth that may come out that might be associated with the negative energy with this placement. Now, say, for example, if this falls in Gemini in your fifth house in your natal chart, maybe it's something where you might have vicariously been living through your child's achievements or a lover's achievement. Maybe somebody that was prominent in your fun, amusement, enjoyment. It could have been a shared hobby. Uh, Maybe it could be a sports athlete. Some cases too, this could also be about something that was done excessively. Might be leaving you. That might not be, something that was beneficial to you. Might have been to your detriment. Now, say, if this is in Leo, it could be something where, where maybe you were over dramatizing things, excessively boasting, you know, persistently, or it could be, just trying to give the impression of grandeur, or is something where you were, where there's some very arrogant energy or bombastic energy that might be on a big scale, might be leaving you. And again, this could be about a Jupiterian person from the past may come into contact with you at this time. It could be somebody that maybe was a college professor or somebody you knew in publishing. It could have been a friend in college. It could be maybe if you hadn't spoken to an in-law in some time, this is the time where maybe you'll rekindle ties with that person. Could be somebody that you knew in sports, a person in an importing or exporting field, a religious person, somebody new at a religious congregation. Hold on a moment, people. Now, in isolated cases, it could manifest in Jupiterian health-related issues might be leaving at this time, especially if this falls in the first or sixth house of your natal chart. The first house, of course, is associated with the physical body. Sixth house could be connected with physical health, physical debilitation. So it could be something Jupiter related leaving you. Um, Maybe there's a liver issue that's dissipating, or something with the pancreas or sciatic nerve or hip. But remember that South Node, it seems like it can affect planetary energy to its detriment when it's in contact with you, so it can go another way too. It could be issues that you may that might be very adverse health-wise that are connected with Jupiter as well, or even cases associated with the sign Jupiter is in that might be strongly to your detriment, because remember Jupiter can enlarge things as well. Say if this is in Scorpio, it could be some issue on a big scale, perhaps with the prostate, the colon, the bladder, or the reproductive system, the pelvic area. So anyway, people, those are some ways that can manifest and pan out. But anyway, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.